And then all my hardcore attorneys asked me what I was crying about, and I said they all should have attended.
That's true. That's true. All right.
Yes.
Anyway, that's that. I am really excited about tonight's Community Partners of the Month. There's one of them was a former student of mine, and I think she's wonderful. But I am going to have our administrators that are introducing our first two, or actually all of them come up, Eric and Monica and Sabrina, I think, are coming up. You guys doing this together? They just send you up by yourself. Community Partner of the Month. Take mine. I have nothing else to say.
Mine works.
Look at everyone.
There you go.
All right, I'm Monica Haley. I'm the principal at Evergreen. As you know, one of our big things this year is safety. So we've locked all of our doors, which means when it's really hot, like 105 degrees, our classroom doors are shut and locked. And at Evergreen, we don't have any windows that open. So if you're on Facebook, you heard all about this as people were talking about how warm classrooms got. And it was quite warm. Our kids and our staff were absolute champions, as well as our community partner, Ash. Come on up. So Ash helped organize donations, as well as the logistics of getting over 60 fans into our classrooms that were able to cool our classrooms down in the morning to make it a lot more bearable for students, so thank you for that. And also, Sabrina's gonna talk about Ash.
Can we get Paul, Montgomery, Jane up here as well? So when we talk about culture change, we know it doesn't happen in isolation. It happens when parents, partners, and principals like our 4P team come together around a shared vision for our kids. This team's shown up in ways beyond volunteer hours. They've been rebuilding a sense of trust and pride in our school community. And from organizing winter in Whoville to reaching out to Dad's Social for a new court to creating things for our kids to do at recess, it means a lot to the kids and the community and parents. And there aren't enough words to thank you guys for all of your efforts, but you guys have really embodied partnership, and I'm just blown away by how far 4P has made it. And on behalf of Three Rivers and the Illinois Valley, I want to thank you guys for your hard work and creativity and dedication to our students.
Okay. All right. So our community partner is a family, the Reyes family. They actually have done quite a bit here for Illinois Valley High School. Most recently, over the summer, if you've come down to a football game, they painted the snack shack, the press box, were instrumental in kind of reshaping our painting and making our ticket booth. So a lot of work there, as well as last year we do a day of service. It happened, I think, in March of last year, and they came down and were able to help our students and serve fry bread, made it, and gave fry bread to the entire student body, which was a lot of fry bread, and it was delicious. And unfortunately, Jordan and Tristan's aunt, Beverly, they're not able to be here today, but we do have Kylan. Can you come forward? This is Kylan Ledford, and he's here to accept the award on behalf of the Reyes family. Thanks, Kylan.
agenda. Okay, now we're at item number 7, consent agenda. And because these are all incredibly boring, and we are going to attempt to have a motion to approve items A through D for the consent agenda. And if anybody wants to talk about any specific one, we'll pull it out and we will discuss it. But I would like a motion first, and then we can discuss.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, good. Now, does anybody want to discuss any specific item in the consent agenda? Okay, well, we have no discussion, so all those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, reports.
Okay, it looks
And
like
it's Dave again.
I'm up first, and so I had a number of requests at a board meeting from Board Member Nelson, and I have some of the answers, I think, to your questions. And so anything I don't get to, I promise I'll get to in a future meeting, so here we go. Rick asked about air conditioning, and when we talked about access control and the money that went into that, he said, why didn't we put that money into air conditioning? What's going on? And we're getting a lot of complaints about air conditioning, and that was actually brought up in our student panel today. It's hot in our classrooms, and it is, and it's hot in our classrooms across the district in most schools. And that, it's important to know that, for instance, the access control grant was very specific about school safety. One of the rare, it baffles my mind that there's not more school safety grants available out there, but that is one that was very specific to school safety, so we had to utilize it in that way. In 2019, we attempted to pass a bond in this county that would have included air conditioning district-wide. Every learning space, office space, conference room, all that would have been included in this bond effort. And of that bond effort, $34 million was allocated for air conditioning, HVAC upgrades. I mean, this school was put into service in 1974, and there's been a lot of repairs and some upgrades, but essentially, the HVAC system's the same. It's 50 years old. And so we had put in the bond for indoor air quality upgrades, which would have included air conditioning. $34 million in 2019 probably equates to something larger today. But in that time, between 2019 and now, we have done as much as we can with the budget that is allowed. We have added mini-split systems. We have added some packet systems. So the difference between a mini-split and a packet system, mini-split typically addresses one room. A packet system would address maybe 4 to 6 rooms with one unit, and obviously more expensive. So at this point in time, we don't have a funding mechanism that gives universal air conditioning to this school district, because $34 million is upwards of 50% of our operating budget, and that would mean we would have to maybe not have school for half the year, not pay our staff for a period of time to equate that kind of money. That's just not happening, right? One thing we are doing is consistently and constantly chasing other funding sources. And there were 11 schools in the state of Oregon awarded the Renew America's Schools grant, which is a clean air initiative from the federal government. 11 schools in Oregon. Three Rivers School District was awarded 3 of those 11 grants. And what that does is we had an ASHRAE evaluation, which is an indoor air quality standard evaluation. And through that process, we are going to be able to provide upgraded HVAC systems. My priority to the auditors has been air conditioning. And so those schools that are impacted in Three Rivers are Illinois Valley High School and Evergreen Elementary School and Fort Vanoy Elementary School. And so we have completed the audit, and now we will be meeting with the auditors to create a design, and then construction should take place this summer. So we are trying to address the air conditioning issue as in the best ways we can, and always trying to get better. I know, like, our school administrators will try to raise money, save money to buy another mini split for another classroom, and so it's just piece by piece. If we can't do it all at once, we got to start somewhere, and that's what we're doing. So that was the air conditioning question. You also asked for a DEI report, who's on these committees, when these committees met, and all the impact of this. We don't have a DEI committee in Three Rivers, so I don't have anything to report on that. Board review committee on all ideological topics, featuring board approval and community review. We are kind of tackling that in another policy, but that concept has been challenged already, and it's in conflict with the freedom of academic freedom, and so it's also in violation of our collective bargaining agreement. So if we want to have that discussion, we're going to have to have that in another workshop session where we can dig deeper into that, how it impacts the contract and how it might negatively impact our staff and their ability to access academic freedom. The book review process that you asked for is in policy IIA, which we are working on, which you've all provided some input on, and so that is forthcoming. We have a draft cooking, and we've gotten some input from Mariah, and we have a draft almost ready to send out to you guys for review. So, and that is that.
I think I had another item on the
What was that?
Title IX.
Title IX, you requested to the board for a resolution, and I haven't seen anything from the rest of the board on that. So that's from you to your board members. Now it's their responsibility to get back to you on that and figure that part out.
Okay.
Can we circle back to the air conditioning really briefly?
Oh, I'd love to.
So you'd mentioned that there has been some fundraising for mini splits and whatnot. So if a school was really gung-ho and wanted to fundraise, say maybe for a few select classrooms, how much does that cost?
It cost us between $6,500 and $10,000, depending on do they have to put the unit on the roof? Can they mount it on the wall? All those different things kind of come into play. So I would say low end $6,500. High end, say, yeah. And at one point in time, I think it was you mentioned, we should have a bake sale to do the roofs. A bake sale may be feasible for a classroom with a mini split.
Kind of dark,
What is dark?
bake sale.
Bake sales are dark, Pat. I guess it depends on. It depends on how you approach the bake sale itself. It could be dark. It could be light and positive. I don't know. Not an expect.
Oh, thank you. Student group spotlight, and I have no idea what this is. This is Lauren DeBurn. Who's in charge of that? Is that you?
That's me.
That's you.
I'm super excited to be here.
I didn't see a name there, so
It's okay.
it's plenty good.
I was told by Eric Lathan that I am long-winded and to keep this short and sweet. We are super excited to have Kennedy here, and really a lot of this credit goes to Miss Miller because she saw that there were reports of bullying, and instead of sweeping it under the rug, she kind of took control of it. So I'll let her kind of talk about it a little bit.
All right, I wasn't prepared for this, but I will be. So one thing I saw at the middle school level is we have a lot of social emotional skills to work on. And I think sometimes we expect that they get those at the elementary, and we have a lot more work to put in. And in order to solve the problems, we have been doing a lot of restorative justice where students have relevant consequences, and they really have to reflect on the impact that their choices have on other students. And so one way that we are doing this is through circles. We're running 5th grade circles for 15 minutes every morning. And I'm going to let Kennedy talk about those. And if you guys have some questions, we'll be here to answer them.
Hello, my name is Kennedy Murray Teasdale. My pronouns are they, he, and I'm in 5th grade at Lorna Byrne Middle School. My classmates are kind of like a construction crew. Right now, some fifth graders might feel like broken down shacks, while others are like small houses. The goal of circles is that by the end of the year, we'll all help build something stronger. We will be a connected fifth grade community. Each person is building their own room, which represents their social and emotional skills. Each person is as we keep growing and connecting these rooms, we can create one big, strong home together. Circles help us learn what it means to build that home. We can't become a strong team if we don't learn how to listen, understand, and grow together. It's not just something that we learn overnight. We have to practice and spend time on it. Circles also reward the positive behavior we have. They focus on what's going right instead of what's going wrong. At the beginning of the year, our class had behavior referrals. Now we've had weeks where you can celebrate no referrals. That shows us how much we've grown by working together, supporting each other, and holding ourselves accountable. In circles, people show courage by speaking their truth. They don't pretend to be someone else because they're surrounded by people who care. One time we had a fight in class. Instead of ignoring it, we talked about it in circle. Everyone shared how they felt, and by the end, people were saying sorry and making plans to do better. That showed me that we can fix problems together. In circles, people show. I'm proud of how far we've come, but circles also remind us that it takes time. It's like building a house or a city, like Rome. It doesn't happen overnight. Every circle helps us grow a little stronger, a little kinder, and a little more connected. By the time we're in 8th grade, all these layers we've built will come together to create something powerful. Each grade is like a layer of bricks. We're building a foundation for grades that come after us to keep adding on. Each year, the structure grows bigger and stronger until it becomes a city. The city represents all of us, connected through circles. One grade at a time, 1 year at a time, we keep expanding. By 2028, every 5th through 8th grade student at Lornaburn Middle School will be part of a strong, connected cohorts built through circles. We are better together. Thank you.
We did have a slide that I worked really hard on. If we could flash it for a second so we could see what it looks like. Thanks.
I have a comment. Are we doing those yet? Yeah. While we're waiting for the slide, I'll shut up if the slide comes up. One of the things is, as the board that I've noticed is when we hear things from out in the district, and sometimes one of the hardest things to parse is what's the actual truth behind it all. And so I just want to commend Danny Pratt and his crew, because there was some talk about bullying, like, okay, what does that mean? So we had some conversations, see, what are we exactly talking about? And rather than just sort of kind of hoping it died down, they tried something. And it seems to be working, and I think, if I can understand it, it's basically trying to convince the students that they're all kind of a tribe that needs to protect each other. Is this the best approach? I don't know, but they tried to do something. And that's great. And so rather than just be a kind of negative, trying to tear things apart, they came up with an idea and they tried it. So stuff's going to happen. Stuff's going to come before the board. And I would like to think that we keep our focus focused on trying something to address it, maybe get to the root cause. And we'd have the courage to do that and think, we're not going to have a bunch of blowback because of that, because if we don't try anything, that's worse. So I would just like to say thanks for the courage to try that. And we'll see how it goes, but at least we're trying to do something and be proactive, and that's awesome.
item C, we have a budget committee vacancy in Zone 4, and Megan Beck, our accounting manager, will discuss this critical issue.
I think they're showing the wrong slides. It's okay.
Thank you.
That's all right. Yeah. Green light on your. Hey, Mr. Cook.
I got it to work. Did you guys want to watch the slide that was playing, or are we just
It's
moving?
gonna come back.
Okay.
It's hard to say.
Okay,
Just go ahead.
okay. So we do have a vacancy. It's for Zone 4 on the Budget Committee. There will be a public notification published this next week. There's also a notification on the website, and it will be open until December 19th, where I will then bring any applications that have been submitted for Budget Committee member to the board in January or February.
Could you define Zone 4
Yes.
approximately?
Zone 4 is North Valley, and that is the zone that Rick was actually in as the Budget Committee member. So because he's now a board member, we have this Budget
Okay.
Committee member vacancy.
So he
Very
got
good.
fired because he's on the board?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Megan.
So, board policy.
So we have a few board policies in front of you tonight for first read as our board operating agreements. Our first read is published for you to review, and they are in the packet for the public to observe. Those will come to you as a second read unless there are suggestions, additions, or you want to pull one out and have it in a workshop. So these are here for you to go through for the next month. And let us know along the way if you have any issues with those.
So there's no discussion now about.
You could
the-
ask questions if you have them, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I got
for
a
sure.
few questions on each one of these.
Oh,
So GBG is new.
it
We
is.
have- We have not seen this. We don't have a policy about teachers with political views in the classroom. This is new.
This is a new, and it's a OSBA recommended policy, and it was something that actually Mariah asked us about, so we looked into it and
Okay.
brought it forth, yeah.
So the only problem I have, and I agree with a lot of what it says, that the district employees should not discuss or do any persuasion, will not be carried on during performance of district duties. So in other words, a teacher in the classroom is not going to start talking about politics and candidates and sensitive issues. But I direct your attention to the second clause there. Except in open discussions during classroom lessons that consider various candidates for a particular office or various sides of a particular political or civil issue. So it
You're already
It-
elected.
well, it negates what they just said. I mean, you can't talk about politics in the classroom, but if it comes up, you can start talking about it.
I wouldn't
So-
say it's, if it comes up, there are classes that deal with
Right.
current events.
Yes, but in
Or-
math, is
or
math a place to talk
government.
about who I'm going to vote for, or
Well, if
abortion?
there- I mean, it says specifically that it would be, a planned activity for that day, so math should not be planning.
Well, it says during classroom lessons, it's not specific.
classroom
So any
lessons.
place during the day that this comes up, you can talk about it,
Well,
which I don't
and
think is
if, and
right.
if you have suggestions, I encourage you to email the board, or me, and I will bring that up in discussion at a workshop, because we could, wordsmith those, but that's not necessarily what a first read's about. Do you have other questions?
Yeah, I got another question about, well, not a question, but I think the district clerk, the IF thing, which is brand new, okay? This is not, we don't have that.
Right.
And they're talking about professional and instructional materials, and that we can't discriminate against certain groups.
That's true. We can't do that.
Of
And we
course.
wouldn't, anyway.
No, but
Right.
it's also in other policies, new policies that we have. And these groups that we can't comment on or.
Shouldn't, right?
And shouldn't.
Got it.
Let me read them to you. Native American, European, African,
Well,
Asian, wait, well, I'm just reading what it's.
Well,
what's-
I
what we're
understand
gonna
that,
vote
but
on it.
it's the standard protected classes, so.
Oh, okay, so, Jewish descent, okay, protected
Uh-huh,
class.
great.
And then people with disabilities, how could we not accept literature from Jewish people or Native Americans? But the kicker is the gay and lesbian group.
And?
And we
What's-
can't criticize or any way discriminate
No,
against them
that's
if
true.
we
That's state
don't
law.
like.
That's true. That's state law. So I'm
I
not sure
understand
why
that.
we're,
But why do we have to be hammered with this repeatedly?
Well-
It's in 4 different places in our policies.
well,
What,
maybe that's a board conversation, because I've always said we're gonna follow the law. We're not gonna deviate from that.
No,
And
no, I'm
it
not
doesn't make
saying-
sense to, so.
no,
We
it-
have, no, we have no choice. Now, if you want to make a letter or a resolution opposing that and send it up to the state school board or the state legislature, we could do that. But right now, by law, those are the protected groups, and we can't mess with the protected groups. It theoretically could add some, but that's what we have.
This is all inclusive. I don't see anything left out.
yeah, I don't see anything about Christians either. Could we protect that group?
So this is a commentary on state, whatever they've already decided are protected groups, right?
Correct.
Okay.
I don't think
The
it's
board's gonna
inclusive
fix
enough.
Oh,
What about people of Christian background?
so is your sense that we should include more groups or less groups? And would that be in violation of state law?
I don't think so.
It does
Would it be
say
something we could
religion.
ta-
It does say religion on there, Rick. Third paragraph.
What do you think we should do?
I think we should include Christians.
As another protected class?
Yes.
I think you're caught in a.
Did the state not think about that?
the
Is that
state-
covered in their religious statement?
Is it?
I don't know.
I
We
think
should find out.
Jews, excuse me,
It's on there.
are set out as a group because it's considered by many a race as well as a religion. And I think that's why it's specifically mentioned, and probably because the long and bitter history of the Jewish race and the Jewish faith. And it says religion, we'd have to theoretically name all religions, but I'm happy with the Jews being mentioned there. And
So you think they're more persecuted than Christians?
I think that.
Why aren't we on there?
Because Christians aren't a race of people. They're not a people. It's a faith. Matter of fact, in Christianity, considering yourself part of a particular racial background would be wrong.
That's a heritage thing versus a belief thing, I think.
So you would say that a Jew is not Israeli?
I got it.
A Jew is
See what I'm
a Jew
saying?
by birth, born in
There's Jewish
Israel.
and ancestry.
This is what I'm gonna do, okay?
Okay.
It's because we can't get hung up at this particular time. But if you want to bring it up later and discuss it with us, I think we're okay. But that's a pretty exhausting list. And I would like to move on if we possibly could. Well,
A Jew is a race and a religion.
so I'm a chairman, I can say we can move on. I never had such power
Is that-
before in my life,
Is
Rick.
that, what do you think, Rick?
I don't agree.
Okay.
It's noted. Okay, so it's, do we have anything else involving the policies, Rick? I take that as a no.
I'm
Okay.
slightly concerned about this district curriculum policy. I do believe curriculum is under the board's purview. This, I don't know. I'm not, I feel like this is taking this away from the board's purview.
Like we should have more say in the curriculum, is that what you're getting at?
Mm-hmm.
Well, in policy IIA, you still retain the authority to approve district-adopted curriculum like CKLA that we heard about earlier. So, in the spirit of what a first read is for you to take in the policy, and then if you have concerns, like I said, you let us know, and it doesn't even have to go to second read, you could pull it, it could go to third read, or you could pull it all together, that's the board's prerogative, so, yeah.
So maybe we get some time to research the things
Yeah.
that we can weigh in on, and then we weigh in on it in the next meeting? Is that correct?
That's right.
And Rick, I'll think about your first comments. Okay, it's, so is that the end of the discussion? Okay, then we're going to proceed to Student Data Monthly Report, Middle School, presented by Dave.
All right, let's talk about some kids. We're going to talk about some kids and some great things we're doing in the classrooms, and I get to call up two of my friends, Mr. Danny Pratt and Christine Carrera, amazing human educators. Christine is a ELA teacher, of which I hold in high esteem as something I cannot do, and Danny Pratt, principal at Lorna Byrne. As promised, board, every month we're going to talk about data. And so last month we talked about some elementary school things and some high school, and this month we're talking about middle school and how we support students in literacy. And so I'm going to turn it over to two people who know a lot. We do have some slides for you that they're going to talk you through. So we're going to talk about data and literacy. I'm going to turn it over to them.
Great job. Super excited to be back again, talking data. So one of the things that I know we're taking really serious is our literacy scores that we have in the school district, and especially in ours. And I'm sure lucky that I was able to have young Christine Carre here as our school, and she immediately wanted to tackle our literacy rates, and so she kind of took over and brought a little program called Read 180 into our school, and the success that we're having with it is pretty incredible. And I'll go to bat for the program, and then also just Christine, the human capital that makes it great. So, you can just explain it. You don't have to.
Hi, again, I'm Christine Correa, and I've been actually using Read 180 over the course of my career for more than 20 years. I started with it in Clark County School District in Las Vegas, and I was very excited that Danny was very receptive to bringing it to Lorna Byrne. And we started with it in the fall of 2021 in 5th grade. And it was working so well that we took it to Jess, who was very receptive, and brought it up to 8th grade in Lorna Byrne. And the kids just continued to show a lot of growth with it, had a lot of success. And now, last year, we brought it into all of the middle schools. And I believe we have a 6-year contract now with Read 180. This is probably nationally the most successful literacy improvement program that we could get. It is expensive, but I think it's worth every penny because of the results that we've seen. It's based on a national scoring that is a little different than what we're used to, called a Lexile score. So it's a very precise measurement of their reading comprehension ability. And the program is individualized, which is what makes it so unique. Reading teachers, ELA teachers, English teachers, we can only do so much when we're sitting in a room with kids who, you know, we might have some. I know in my 8th grade classroom this year, I have classes that have students reading at post-high school level, which is phenomenal, down to I have a new 8th grade student this year who doesn't know his alphabet. And that presents a wide range of challenges. So when we have a program like this where the students can take their HMH growth assessment and be put into a program that will work with them at their level, and work to bring them up individually, it benefits us beyond anything that we could do without the assistance of a program like this. It covers phonics for those kids that need it, even in middle school. We are still dealing with that, unfortunately. Moves them into fluency. It does have writing skills, writing assessment, and then ultimately we want to improve their comprehension level. And we have, like, just last year, we had 45 6th through 8th grade students in the program, and 9 of those moved up to grade level and graduated out of the program. And that was just at Lorna Byrne. I don't have all of the statistics yet for the other middle schools. I'm looking forward to getting all of that. And then a couple of our great success stories is I have a student who was with me last year who completed all 25 of the segments, so she cannot any longer work in the program, and now we're able to focus on just her writing, and we're really confident that we're going to get her where she needs to be, ready for high school and to be successful on her state testing this year. So it's really great that we can zero in on those individual skills that these kids need and get them ready to move up to IV and pass those state tests, and more important, make them lifelong readers and writers. Like I said, we've had 2 8th graders now come in, one last year and one this year, who are basically illiterate. They don't even know their alphabet, basic phonics skills. And as an 8th grade reading specialist, I just don't have any other materials available to me, so this has been very beneficial. One of my favorite success stories was a young man who's here at the high school this year, and when he came to me in 8th grade, he was 3 levels below his reading, and his writing was suffering, and we got him by the end of 8th grade up to grade level, and this year he's in 10th grade at IV, and he's in honors English. So it just warms my heart to see success stories like his. So that's pretty much.
Yeah, thank you, Christine. Appreciate that. All right, now the Valley administrators with their data presentation. Do we still have them?
I actually have a quick comment on that. We were down at Lorna Byrne today, just grabbed a random student in the hallway.
Never mind, that's it.
Who was involved in the program. And in a 2 or 3 month period of time, he hadn't been there very long, and all of a sudden he was excited about reading. So that's just picking somebody out of the hallway. That's great.
Huge thanks to them at Lorna Byrne for putting that together, and we will be collecting different kind of data this year since we have it district-wide, and so at the end of the year we'll bring you some Read 180 data district-wide, not only Lorna Byrne, but Applegate, Lincoln Savage, and Fleming. So thanks for the data conversation today. Next month, more data. It's my favorite topic, and can't wait to share with you all the cool things we're doing across the district for student learning, increasing high levels for all.
Community comments. And I'm going to make Oliva Herrera speak first.
Hey, you got it right. You got your name right.
She's always ready to talk.
I did get it right.
Good job.
Hi, everybody. Just really quick, because I have to leave. I have an important meeting to go to, but I didn't even think I was going to be able to get up here. I have a couple things to say. I forgot what the first one was already. But the next one, in regards to the Veterans Day event, I wanted to reiterate what Dave said. So my father served. He's a combat injured veteran. He served both in the Navy and the Marines, and he got to visit the Hidden Valley High School event last year and was very touched. So he was like very teary-eyed like Pat was during the musical thing. And I want to encourage not just all veterans to try and attend, but I've already talked to Jessica right away to try to get the information as soon as possible so that I can help promote that event with the veterans to send in their photos, and some of them are also encouraged to share the stories with some of the students and stuff. So depending on who you are and if that's up your alley, those are other things that are celebrated at that event. One of the coolest events I've been to from this school district. So, and because of Pat, I've heard about the musical event. So we do plan on helping promote that as well. The couple, business items, I still don't, I heard a little bit of talk about the book policy thing, so it looks like you guys are working on something, and so I'll just wait to hear about that. But since I have to go, I'm going to yield my time to see who else is speaking next, so thank you guys for letting me share.
You're good at this. You've done this before. Our next person is David Lamel, or Lammel.
That's right.
You got it first.
Okay, David.
First thing I'd like to do is apologize for walking out of last month's meeting. My anger level was too high to stay in here. School board members, I'm sure you know this meeting here is not where the public is allowed to communicate. Communicate meaning talking with each other. Mr. Kelly, if a judge gave you 3 minutes once a month to defend your client and you had 27 minutes 9 months of the year, how would that work for you in communicating with the judge?
I'm a really good attorney.
I can't do this in 3 minutes. I had to talk. The talk I was going to give is in your pamphlet there, and I would like you to look at the first page that I left there, because that shows the student standings throughout quite a bit of the area here, and it's kind of dismal. I'm guessing they're about 1/3 up to grade level. I was too angry to listen to how the kids were doing so poorly, but it was interesting to find out that by June, they're going to have 80% of them up to level. That's the goal. But the problem is, I've been here for 35 years trying to help these kids get an education, doing everything I can, and that's the same thing I've been told and the same thing I've heard for 35 years. A couple different words, but it's the same story. The feds reported last week that the kids throughout the United States are doing the worst they've done in 40 years in the schools. Topping that, I had to listen to summer school and the results of summer school. And a board member here quickly calculated that each student at summer school earned less than 1 point toward graduation at a cost, and I can't remember, I believe it was about $1,400,000 for approximately 150 kids. If I'm wrong, please state that. If the board doesn't change tactics in more than the 35 years I've been here, I don't want to come back for another 35 years, because I'll be 120 years old and I'll probably stink real bad. Here's a side note. Did you guys on the board take up Tim Hart's offer from Duralast Roofing to install one roof on one building that would be so cheap you couldn't turn it down? I've never heard a thing about that. I thought that was a pretty good offer. I worked hard to get that offer. Does the offer still stand? I don't know. When I was working on the budget committee, I worked on roofs. I went on every roof in every school district, pardon me, on every roof in this school district, and checked them out and asked for the warranties, and nobody would produce the warranties. The guy that I was trying to deal with was sent down to a little building down at the fairgrounds, and I never could talk to him again. They changed him from maintenance to nothing.
Mr. Lamel, I'm afraid your time is up, but if you wish to talk to me afterwards, I'll be glad to talk to you.
We talked before the meeting.
Okay. We have as our next person, Judy Ahrens.
Good evening, board members and Mr. Vanzuela. You know, I want to start with commending you on some stuff. You and even 7th School District, you have an amazing musical program, and I really appreciate that. You have outstanding people, and even with this upcoming Veterans Day. But let me just hit on that for a minute, because prior to the meeting, I was talking to little clusters of students. I think we have a lot of wonderful national holidays, and I don't think we should be ignorant in them. For instance, I was asking the kids this recently, just before the meeting, if they discussed Columbus Day, and they hadn't, and my goodness, it was all over, you know. I mean, I watched it Newsmax one evening, and I was sharing it with my grandson on Skype and stuff. It's an important holiday. I don't know if the people coming out of the schools now are the teachers' educational groups or your conferences are talking about the national holidays, and this is a very important holiday. I can't overemphasize that. You know, he didn't discover America per se and hitting Asia, but he discovered and integrated with people, and we're here because of him. I think that's really very, very significant that our kids are not ignorant on that subject. And like I say, we have the Veterans Day coming up, fun, but we have these other holidays that are important too during the year. And I would like to not see us changing things into generic things. When I was growing up, we had a Christmas holiday. We had a Thanksgiving holiday. We had an Easter holiday. Now, I don't know what the liberals are doing up in Salem or whatever and feeling, well, we have to all get along. And even Rick Nelson was saying, well, what about Christianity and one of these things? Like, we're all so nervous about Christians. No, they're really good people. And in fact, they helped discover America. What a concept, Americans. So these are Christians. So instead of going for the, I forget what we call these holidays now, we have a lot of Christians, a lot of kids that attend church. And why are we denying them the right in the classroom to know what the holiday is instead of calling, I forget what the new names are out there. But having Christmas, it's important. I think a lot of you will be having, quote, Christmas trees. So if you're going to have a Christmas tree, why can't you call during your thing, have a Christmas program? You know, the baby Jesus, the manger, and the resurrection and stuff. We have these holidays that are important. And the public schools, I don't know if it's Salem and all these different states are doing this, but it seems we're making them more just generic. And I'm getting a little tired of things being generic because we're losing our heritage. Heritage is very, very important. And also, just to say all the things that's going on around our country on the gender issue and LGBT, I hope we don't have 1 inch, 1 book, 1 class, 5 minutes on that. It has nothing to do with the kids reading, writing, and arithmetic. I think if our kids could get back, the whole nation is suffering. The nation right now is at about a 4th grade level, reading level, and I think a couple years ago it was even, we were at 3rd grade, that we weren't even doing well at that. So anyway, just give you some thought. Thank you.
Next, we have Sky Baker, and I think he's associated with Marjorie or Margin Wilkins. Marjorie, do you want to go up with her, or okay? Very good, very good. Well, Sky.
Hello, my name is Sky Baker at the Luribird School 5th grade. And I was coming to talk about health because there was a problem last year about teaching about weird stuff like private parts of men and women with men and women in the room. And I thought it was kind of weird, so I was going to talk about how we could fix that by keeping it like not sharing that or this and other stuff like not weird, just like regular health stuff, like what you should be eating instead of junk food or like other things that are as weird as what there was taught in 3rd and 4th. And in 5th, we're going to teach it again. I didn't want that to happen, so I was coming to say that we should change it up a bit by not adding anything weird, just keeping it the same as it was before they started talking about the weird stuff. And that's really what I was going to say about it. Okay, I'm done.
Thank you very much, Sky. So, Margie, would you like to speak? Yes.
That was my granddaughter. My name is Margie Wilkie, and that's my granddaughter, and I have 4 grandchildren that come here to school. And this all kind of came up. What she means by weird is she means kind of I don't want to call it abnormal, but certain people have their sexual preferences, and it's really irrelevant for children in the elementary ages. They don't need to be exposed to boy-boy, girl-girl relations and that kind of thing. They're more interested in, they really do need to learn to eat healthy, exercise, and that kind of thing. I asked her last year, I says, well, have they talked to you about how you get head lice? What, head lice? No, we don't talk about that. But so I know some kids that have it, but why aren't we doing a more in-depth study on that? Anyway, that's kind of where this came. She wanted to come and speak, so I made it possible for her. I'm glad to hear that you guys are working on a book policy. I hope it's going to take some of the filth out of our libraries for my grandchildren. And also, I just recently heard that you do offer an opt-out for some of these classes, but I'm not sure how that happens. Like she said, they're going to be talking about it again. Her mom says, yeah, we opt out if I see the paper. So, you know, is there a better way of maybe communicating to these busy parents that, you know, work nights and sleep half the day, and they don't, you know, they barely get to see their kids as it is, to make sure that they do have that ability to opt out? Is it something they do at the first of the year? And how are they notified? Because if it's a piece of paper coming home in the backpack, it's good chance it's getting skipped over. And then kids are stuck. Can they opt out themselves? Just open-ended questions for you guys to think about. Other than that, I'm glad you do what you do, and don't stop doing it. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Steve Raycraft. Could be Croft. Thank you. Oops. Oh, I missed it. I'll pick that one up next.
Thank you, Board, for the opportunity to speak tonight. And as I usually say, I'm here because of my Lord Jesus, and I'm wanting to represent him and be a voice for the kids and for the community and for the people of faith and family values here in the local school district, to make sure that they're represented at least a little bit here during this portion of the meeting. And for the reason Charlie Kirk is an inspiration too, his life and what he was willing to do with his time and his energy, and to stand up for values. So I take Charlie as an inspiration. I was thinking that I might label this, say something negative. I don't want to be negative, but I did want to focus on something that was a little troubling from the last board meeting. I was negative with Pat last meeting. Pat, thank you for taking that graciously. And I understood you took it to heart, so thank you for that. But I was disappointed with the workshop because several of the board members had not even read the policy that you were gathering to talk about. Your job as board members, you need to understand that your policy powers, responsibilities are very important to how the school district is run. That's one of the few things you can really do is craft policy, and people came to the meeting unprepared to even talk about it. I found out that the District 7, for the book policy, they required a workshop and a regular meeting every single month until they hash it out, because there's a lot of work to be done. So you guys need to, I don't know what the process is, for one of the board members or the group majority of the board to say we need to schedule workshops every month and get that started now, or this policy is not going to be instituted. The earliest I figure is January, if the work gets done. If not, it's what? February, March, April before the policy gets implemented. And then all of Rick's other policies that he wants to see done, especially the Title IX he wasn't aware that the school board members were supposed to do something with that resolution that he brought, and I don't think the school board members were either. So there was some communication missing that could have been offered to Rick when he presented it as to what needed to be done next with that resolution, because that's an important resolution, and here we are with nothing happening still, and I know Rick's going to do what he can to address that. So I'm really concerned that the policy needs to be addressed and the time needs to be taken and the workshops need to be scheduled so you guys can get the work done that you want to and need to get done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve. And our last person is Erica Butler.
Good evening. I had the opportunity to meet a few of you and have known others of you for years. I'm the Vice Principal and Athletic Director here at Illinois Valley High School. And tonight I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about athletics and how we team and work with the health center here on campus. The main reason we do this and the biggest benefit we see is our students have so much more time in the classroom. Our community health center is not far down the road, but by the time you think about parents having to take off of work, having to come in and sign their student out, the student having to wait in the waiting room at the clinic, and then having to return back to school and sign back in, they've lost probably an extra 45 minutes to an hour. Whereas having the health center here on campus, we're able to have those students in class, and when it is time for them to make their appointment, they're called out of class. They're able to walk in, do a brief intake, and then they're immediately seen, and then returned back to class. That is huge for our students who need to be in class as much as possible to be learning those things that we expect them to learn. Another benefit I have is I work very closely together with the nurses and physicians that work in our health center, and I appreciate that relationship I have, not only for my athletes, but also for students in general. I have the ability to go in and talk to them when we have concerns that are going to show up in the classroom. How can we communicate with teachers to have grace, to maybe give them a little bit more time because they're struggling. They also help with physicals. Before school, we have physical event every year, and they graciously charge the students $10 for each physical, and all that money comes back into the athletic department. So it gives us an opportunity to be able to fund a program or fund something that we weren't able to beforehand. Also throughout the year, if we have a student whose physical expires throughout the year, I know that we were able to get that student in quickly and get them eligible to continue in sports. When it comes to injuries, our students are able to be seen quickly. Referrals are given out. They have connections with orthopedics and things like that into Grants Pass and Medford. So we also communicate really well. Hey, this student can do this but can't do this. And if Lisa goes and meets with somebody and then she'll come back to me and say, hey, I know I said in 2 weeks they can come back, we're not ready yet. Or, hey, they're ready a little bit early, let's go ahead and put them back in. And I really appreciate that opportunity to have that relationship built with someone that's right here on campus, so I'm not having to take my time away from my campus either. Finally, with concussions, there's a new protocol with that with the state, and we're working closely with them. And then lastly, Lisa does volunteer to help our wrestlers be ready for wrestling season. She helps us with the initial process that goes in with that, and I just wanted to let you guys know how much I appreciate the program. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So now we have action items, and I need Stephanie Allen Hart.
And I need Stephanie Allen Hart to be here too, but she's not, so you get me. I'm gonna
you're gonna be Stephanie.
step in. I'm gonna do less of a job than she would, of course. But she was asking if the board has to approve the closing of our inter-district transfer slots, and we do this about this time of year every year. So we open up slots before school. We fill as many as we can that are appropriate at this point in time, our class sizes and resources and staffing, and the lack of recent transfer requests. We are requesting that we close our remaining inter-district transfer slots.
So I'm looking for a motion to close our remaining inter-district transfer slots. Somebody please
So moved.
remind me.
So moved.
You got a one
Okay, I got a so
first.
moved. We have a second.
I'll second.
Okay, discussion. No discussion. You are highly persuasive. Yes. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. How sad. Anyway, let's vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No one. Okay, our next person is Casey Alderson.
Bringing to you, green light is what I'm bringing to you. So bringing to you request for your approval to approve a collective sponsorship between North Valley and Hidden Valley High Schools swim teams. So the reason behind that, they're going to be sharing lanes and sharing space at the YMCA for their swim teams. And in order for that to happen, we need to have approval from the board to submit to OSAA that they're sharing that same practice space. So that is the request that you have in front of you tonight.
So somebody please make a motion.
So moved.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
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 Next is Megan Beck, Accounting Manager.
Hello. So this first one is a resolution requesting the board to approve seismic funds that we received. We received them after the fact, once the budget had already been done. So what we need to do is I need your approval in order to appropriate and then be able to expend those funds into Fund 402.
I'll move.
So
I'll
do-
second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
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 You've got three more.
Thank you. This next one is for the district to participate in the Josephine County Investment Program. What that is when the property taxes are sent to Josephine County, they collect interest. And so in order for us to receive that interest, we need approval from the board to participate in this program with Josephine County.
I motion to approve.
A second?
I'll second.
Discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you. The next one is approval for the design team. And I'm going to let Dave take this. He is an expert when it comes to this part.
So you just appropriated funds for the Lincoln Savage retrofit. So like we looked at Evergreen, their seismic retrofit. So what this allows us to do is procure a design team now, rather than waiting for our November 19th deadline. I can tell you with these kind of projects, time is of the essence. We get a design team on board. They basically come up with a seismic design, and then we can start to go out for the CMGC process or get a contractor to build the thing. And if we wait till November, we start to push ourselves out. And we've had projects like this go into school, like we don't get them by August 15th. So if we do this, that allows me to go to the not exceed. I mean, these grants are specific. It's not like I can spend any more money than is there, but it allows you, or gives you, give me the permission to go out and procure a design team between now and the next board meeting.
Okay. Do we have a motion to procure said design team?
I motion that we procure said design team expertise that we need badly.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Thank you. And this last one's going to be the same thing, but we're talking about the CMGC instead of, you want to take that?
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah.
I'm on it. So
Absolutely.
the exemption from public contracting rules is CMGC is a process that we use that provides us with checks and balances. What sometimes or typically happens is you have a design team that gives you a concept and a design, and then you have under that umbrella, that same company, a construction team. The CMGC process gives you a design team in one company, let's like say ZCS Engineering, and a construction team. Let's say maybe Osland Construction. They did the last project for us at Evergreen, and it was wildly successful. What that does is the design team and the construction team have to have discourse. Like if the construction team come in and does something, the design team can say, hey, that's not how we drew it. We need to do it the way we drew it and that the board, or that the district approved. So it's that check and balances, and that's what we're asking to do, CMGC versus design build.
Well, I would like a motion for the approval of that, provision.
I motion that we approve that division or that expenditure.
Okay, it's CNC. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
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 You're all done?
I'm
Good
done,
job,
thank
Meg.
you.
Thank you.
Drive safe.
So this is kind of interesting. We get to vote on, I believe we get to vote,
It is.
on an OSBA board of director candidate for position 5, Southern Oregon. And there are 3 names there, and I'm not certain how to do. I guess we could just have a motion for.
Yeah,
I'm going to motion for a vote for Nathan Sable, who is currently serving as on the school district, District 7.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a first and a second. Do we have a discussion?
Well, I think, I don't know if you all know Nathan, but, okay, good. So I think, you know, being from Grants Pass, you know, as we know, Nathan, he, you know, his values are very similar to ours. And also, you know, being from our neighboring district, he would know the needs of Southern Oregon better than some of the other candidates possibly, so.
I would go with
for
he's
Nathan.
articulate, smart, and moral.
There you go.
And I
And he
wholeheartedly back him.
He comes from a background of teachers,
Mhm.
parents, grandparents, sisters, many sisters that are all teachers, school teachers.
Does anybody else wish to, well, we're going to vote on this because we're the first who made the nomination. We had a second. We had a discussion. So all those in favor of approving Nathan Siebel, say aye.
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 Nathan Sable.
It says C right there. Okay, board policy, second reading, my man.
Okay, item H, board policy, second read. These were board policies that were in your previous packet. I had not received any requests for information from board members on these, so they are in your packet now for approval if you are so inclined.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve these board policies? You can also ask for more time if you so desire.
Well, I would honestly like to pull out the talented and gifted, although I apologize, I didn't know the process well. I should have probably spoke up at the last meeting. But there were changes to that policy that I don't really like. I feel like at that one we should maintain the measured standards that we have. I mean, one of the things in the policy it says is to reduce bias. The best way to reduce bias is to, you know, use actual tests
Well-
to measure the students' talent and gifted ability.
Dave, do we have any discretion in altering that, or has the state tied us down?
The talented gifted is driven by OSBA and the state, but if you wanted to, Mariah, we could meet with Jessica between now and the next meeting and go through, she's our talented and gifted coordinator.
Okay.
And so we could talk about what those assessments look like, how we go through that process, and so you could have a better understanding and offer some suggestions there. So
Okay, so let's pull that one,
I motion to postpone temporarily.
that particular one.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
No, actually, I would like more time for all of these.
So then you would motion
mentioned here.
to table the
8 of them.
whole section. So you would motion to table section H
Yes.
for next meeting.
If,
Yes.
That's what.
do we have a second on that? Can we do that?
I
Is there any-
second that
Yeah,
because
Nancy
of
could say that.
actually
Anybody could say that. Table.
comment of Steve Raycraft, like, I haven't reviewed them, I just don't know. So I need to get up to speed. It was a fair critique, so, yeah, if we tabled it, it would give us a little more time.
So I
So you
feel
have
like
a s-
Nancy did a motion to
She
table.
did a motion to table.
I'll
You can do a
second it.
second.
It almost sounded
I might have
Okay.
seconded it, she might
Well,
have seconded it.
I am sensing the discussion took place. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, and then it's the elementary library books. Board member initiative, that would be you, Nancy.
Okay. I would like to propose that we get books that are positive, and not that there are books that are not positive, well, some of them aren't, but books that are inspirational and for the elementary school children. We have a local author who writes children's books, and he is not the one that illustrates them, but he is his own publisher. His name is Lance Nevis. Nevis, yes, and he goes by Big Red Chicken, and he's written several books. He wrote Animal Rain about 15 years ago. They're just silly, funny, fun, whimsical books for children that I think they would really enjoy, and he will come to the classroom, and he has memorized all of his books, and he shares them with the children, and they love it. He's been out at different fairs, Rooster Crow, Pottsville, Steam and Tractor Show. He's got a book called Silly Stew, The Pollywog Prince, and he's got 6 books. So I would like to make a proposal, this is part of it, to have him in the classrooms talking to our elementary school children, and to purchase his books for our school libraries and classrooms. And also, I would like to see Kirk Cameron's books that are also written for children. As You Grow is one of the titles, Brave as a Lion. And these are brave books, The Fox, the Fair, and the Invention. And just good titles and well-illustrated books. Actually, I haven't seen these yet, but I did buy all of Lance Nevis's books for my grandchildren, and they love them. They also include coloring pages in the books. And last but not least, the magazines that are offered by Focus on the Family are called Clubhouse Magazine, and for boys, and Brio for girls. And those are available through Focus on the Family. So I'd like to promote having those books in our schools, and I would like a motion to put these books in our libraries and classrooms.
What is the process for
I think,
doing
can I just
Yes.
help Nancy out real
Yes.
quick? Is Nancy's proposal is actually that the board utilize some of your funds that you have for various things, to take a small portion of those funds to purchase some of these books, and then they would be given to a school library on behalf of the board. That's what
Okay.
her proposal is.
Okay.
Yeah, just the financial part was,
Yeah,
you're
that's
good.
what I was
You did
wondering
you did
is
the heavy
about
lifting,
is
Nancy.
how
I just
much-
came in and helped at the
How
end.
much
What's-
I
are
would
we
interpret
talking
that
about
as a
as far
motion.
as finances?
Yeah, what's the budget
I
estimate?
think you can make a motion on a set amount, and I think we discussed, between $200 and $250, something like that. So, but it's up to you.
I'd make a motion that we agree to allocate $250 towards the purchase of some books that Nancy's brought up.
What if they're more than that for the books? How many elementary schools do we have?
7.
7, okay. It
So-
might be
Do you
more
wanna
than
do the-
$250, but let me look into the cost.
Do you want a not to exceed?
500?
As long as we've got the budget for that, I'm not opposed.
So I amend my motion to say amount not to exceed $500 for
And then we'll
books
stay
that-
within budget. Yeah.
that Nancy has recommended to the board.
And we'll take it as far as we can take it. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'll
do we-
look into cost.
I'll
Do we
second.
have a second?
I'll second.
All those, we had discussion mixed in there somewhere. Does anybody else want to discuss? All those in favor say aye.
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 Thank you, Nancy. And now you're on, Mr. Valenzuela, about insurances reports to the community.
It's under communications to the board.
Communications to the board.
So it's just in your packet.
Okay, thank you. So anyway, so we have no action or discussion on those items now unless you so desire. So now we proceed to the next one, which is suggestion, unless I missed one, and you'll correct me if I won't, and I will enjoy the correction. Suggested future agenda items from our wonderful board.
I'd like to suggest or repropose the resolution that I submitted at the last meeting unknowingly. I didn't really know how to do this, but
A reproposal?
yeah, this is a reproposal. I passed out copies to you all here, and it's about Title IX. It's about boys participating in girls' sports. Now, the resolution I gave you is not policy. I want you to understand, it's just not policy. It's just a statement of board support, exactly. I did a little research. I called the OSBA.
Well, are you proposing it now and then we
Oh, no,
discuss it last time?
there's some information I gotta tell
Oh,
you first, okay? I did a little research on this issue, and the OSBA attorney, quote, says, OSBA does not have a sample policy regarding gender identity and athletic participation. So lo and behold, there's nothing, they haven't addressed it up in Salem.
So we're deciding on nothing?
No. There is a lawsuit pending up in Portland. There's one in California of girls suing the district for having boys in the locker room and participating in these sports. So my resolution, and if you don't mind, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to read it for the record. It's not that long.
Well,
May I?
go ahead.
You have a copy. But I think this is very succinct. It's to the point.
Thank you.
It's doesn't criticize any group of people. It makes sense. So let me read. Whereas Three Rivers School District is dedicated to ensuring fairness, safety, and equal opportunities for all students. And whereas Title IX was enacted to prohibit sex-based discrimination in any educational program or activity receiving federal financial assistance, ensuring that female athletes have equal opportunities to participate and succeed in sport. And whereas Title IX has played a vital role in expanding opportunities for female athletes, promoting fair competition, and increasing access to scholarships and other academic or athletic advancements. And whereas the biological differences between male and female athletes can create inherent advantages in competitive sports, particularly in categories designed specifically for girls. Whereas the Oregon School Activities Association, the OSAA, is responsible for governing interscholastic athletics and must ensure that programs align with the principles of fairness, safety, equal opportunity as outlined in Title IX. Whereas protecting the integrity of girls' sports is critical to maintaining a fair playing field for female athletes and preserving the original intent of Title IX. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Three Rivers School District strongly supports Title IX and calls upon athletic governing bodies to uphold its protections by ensuring fairness and equal opportunities in girls' sports. And that last part, be it further resolved that copies of this resolution be forwarded to the Governor of Oregon, the Oregon State Legislature, and the Department of Education to demonstrate our district's commitment to safeguarding the interests of female student athletes. So I'm asking you would you consider taking this up at the next meeting and putting your name on it?
Well, let's put it on the agenda. But if anybody has suggestions for changes, contact Rick and we'll discuss them. But
So we'll be discussing this at the next meeting?
yes,
Okay, then we can get some background on,
Yeah, one
Whatever.
thing that one of the things we just approved was the athletic director from North Valley was to go to that conference in Florida where they're going to be discussing Title IX. So before, making any sort of resolution like this, I would like to hear kind of what he brings back from that conference as well.
I'd like to know what our legal
And legal,
framework is.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm ignorant.
We could do that. Yeah, Tim Sam can come and present, give you any information you want. He's nationally recognized AD. Yeah, sure.
so let's discuss it and bring our guests and hopefully make a decision and any changes that we wish to submit. And I have one that I'll give you before we go. We'll discuss it next weekend and put it on the agenda. Do we have to vote on this or? Okay, very good.
You just take that information if the board says yes, put it on.
Okay, well, I'll say yes, right? Okay, we have yes. Our next meeting for the board is Wednesday, November 19th, 2025, 5 p.m. at the district office. And our upcoming events are the Hidden Valley High School Veterans Day celebration, Thursday, November 6th, 2025 at 10 a.m. If you want to see me cry again,
It's at
come.
11.
Yeah,
Excuse me,
correct,
so-
correct that to
And
11.
It's at 11.
We'll put out a flyer that has both events, that has all the details. We'll get that to you guys, so we'll do that very soon.
And we also have the Three Rivers High School Music Department Community Patriotic Event, Monday, November 10th, 6 p.m. at Riverway Lot. Be there. And so now I'm going to use my vast powers as chairman to adjourn this meeting. So I hereby adjourn this meeting. And thank you, everybody. It was a long meeting. Rick?
I should have offered you a ride. I drive faster than you.
Oh, no.
But I was
it-
going to bring Mariah.